everybody. It's a bedtime radio show. I just said bedtime.
Did you? Bedtime radio?
Bedtime radio show. I'm Billy. This is Don. Hi, Don.
Hey.
We have a very awesome season finale for you today. First of all, I can't believe it's been the third season.
Right? That's crazy.
We started this in December of 2020.
Yeah.
Here we are on the third season. But this is a jam-packed, action-packed, awesome season for you. And here's the coolest part. We have our very first live guest today. And she's somebody that we work with. She's adorable. She's about 3 feet tall. And her name is Nicole. Say hi, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole, and bite me. 5 feet tall.
5 feet tall.
She's one of
Correction.
She's one of our favorites.
Correction corner.
She goes on ghost hunts with us. And she is here to experience the wonderful thing that we have done for you, our wonderful audience, that I think you're really going to enjoy. But before we get that, let's learn a little bit about Nicole. So, Nicole, tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you into ghost hunting in the first place.
Well, I am 2 inches away from midget status, so there's that. That's all you really need to know about that stuff. But I had a Ouija board when I was little, played with it by myself, and stupid me said, "Prove to me that you're real." You know, so mom wasn't home. She was at work, and I was doing chores, and this light fixture in the middle of my hallway decided to float gently, diagonally, to land in front of my bedroom door and did not break. So jumped out the window, went to a neighbor's house, borrowed some pants.
Right?
She pooped her pants.
No, I just...
Thanks, Billy. We didn't get that one. Thanks.
No, did not actually poop the pants. I just don't like wearing pants. So if I don't have to wear them, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then last, I've seen stuff off and on my entire life. I think the house that I live in now is actually haunted. And last year I went on my first trip to Tennessee, and people that I went with are, paranormal investigators, and we went on an investigation and got pushed, saw some things, heard some things, and then the cabin that we stayed in also was pretty active. So that just kind of, made me realize how interesting this stuff really was, and want to go play with it a little bit more and see what we can find out and see why people stick around and see if we can help make things better,
So, Nicole, I have an anatomically correct doll in my hand right now. Do you want to point where the ghost touched you?
Well, let's see. I had a pinch mark bruise on my butt.
Nice.
One on my lower leg. Both of my upper arms.
Ew.
And I'm not exactly sure exactly where the one in Tennessee in the cabin touched me. I just know that the medium that was there with us told me that he touched me while I was sleeping.
Ew.
Creepy McCreeper son.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Creepy McCreepersons.
That's fucking awesome.
His name was Walter.
Oh. Your own first name basis.
Oh,
That's
Jesus.
Even
Are you dating
terrifying.
yet?
No.
Did you get his phone number?
No, but I know where he lives. I've been to his house.
Exactly.
Yeah, she cleansed the room and had a nice conversation, set some boundaries, and then,
You always have to set boundaries.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome, dude.
That's awesome.
Terrifyingly. I should admonish you for using a Ouija board, but, you were young, you were dumb.
I only have to be
We've all
8,
done it.
according to Milton Bradley.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You only have to be 8 to summon the devil.
Yeah.
Right.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's
You have to be 21 to drink.
Yeah, 21 to drink,
Right.
but you don't even need an ID to buy a Ouija board.
Sure
You
don't.
need to.
Dude, I'm going to tell you, I've had some crazy shit happen with friends of mine who thought it was cool to do Ouija board stuff when I was younger and in the Air Force, and I can tell you some stories, man. Strange shit afoot, for sure. But that is for another day, for sure. Today, Dawn and I and Nicole have gone on a few little ghost hunts of our own. Nicole was with us when we went to Yorktown, which was our show last week. And ever since we have met Nicole, we've had so much fun going out and doing this stuff. We've always talked about wanting to do it, but Nicole kind of nudged us a little bit. So,
Yay, me.
Yeah, and then we've just kind of like gone, we're like addicted to ghost hunting now.
Well, first we got you bought the little recorder, the one that I have now that you gave me. And then you're like, well, that's shit because I'm an audio guy, so I got to get like the $5,000 one.
Right,
so we had to buy
the best.
So he bought like the best recorder, and now we're talking about getting a the best camera that's on the same line. So yeah.
Well, yeah, if you
just
really
get a little
get
taste of it, and then you get it's very addicting.
And there's all these other things that you can get to kind of help, like the ghost grid thing.
Right.
And
yeah,
I don't know. I want to get one of those.
It's the gadgets that I'm into as well. See, now
and an Ovilus.
Yeah.
One of those.
Ooh,
now,
yeah.
I know.
Try that one.
Dawn believes in ghosts, and Nicole believes in ghosts, and has had experiences, and I'm sure Dawn has too. I believe in ghosts, but I don't always believe in EVPs, and the reason why is because being an audio person, I know people can manipulate shit, and they can fuck it up and make it sound like anything they want. So I'm on the fence on a lot of stuff. But we recently, probably for the last 2 or 3 months, have gone on a little ghost hunt on in a hospital. And we've gotten some very interesting things. Very interesting things. Some of these things literally sent chills in me, which is rare because usually it's like, okay, whatever. Some dude, you can tell, got right up in the mic and whispered in a demon voice, whatever. Okay, I can tell you none of these have been altered in any way. And we're going to share them with you today because some of these are just fascinating. And it seems to be, I don't know if you've noticed it, but there seems to be one that follows us around no matter where we go.
Our friend.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know, because I don't know if it's the fine line. Like, you hearing your Ouija board story, and not to scare you, because I know you don't really get scared easy, but you do get fascinated. I think maybe that thing's still following you around. Because you read up on stuff. Ghosts are not very good at mimicking voices. But some of these responses we get sound almost exactly like you. Correct. And I know it's not you because you're standing right next to me and you're not saying a word. And a lot of people have heard it and gone, that sounds like
that's Nicole.
And I'm like, no,
She
because listen to the way it's being spoken.
Right.
There was a couple times that y'all got stuff that sounded like me that wasn't even there.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. And, it's like, what interests me is the fact that I know how you talk, and now everybody knows how you talk. You talk about 7,000 miles an hour.
Who, me? No.
Yeah. So, some of these are like broken cadences when they're talking.
Is fluid and fast, right?
And it doesn't sound like a human being is talking because of the way it's being spoken. So, I'm super excited. I've been waiting for this episode for how long now? Forever?
I don't know. We've been talking about it. This is the surprise that we've been telling you guys about, to show you our evidence.
Yes, we have some evidence of some really great paranormal investigations. And they just fascinate me so much because I cannot explain all of them. Some of them I actually have debunked and showed to Nicole and Dawn and our other little group of friends that go with us what that is and what it could be. So it adds that doubt of, is it really a voice or not, or is it a ghost or not? But no, some of these, you can't explain some of these. They're just odd. What have you discovered? We've going out with us. What was like the one thing that is fascinating you the most about it? Like, what's your favorite part of it?
Just capturing the EVPs. I mean, some of the stuff that we've gotten is very intelligent. Right. A very intelligent response. And I think you don't really realize just how much, everything kind of intertwines together. I mean, we work in a hospital and people die there all the time. And we don't think about the fact that maybe there's some stuff still lingering around.
Yeah.
People don't realize that they're gone.
Right. They don't know they're passed over.
It's very traumatic, tragic thing, and they get stuck in places.
We're stuck right in the front lines of that trauma and tragedy, and
they pass away in front of our eyes.
You're an ICU nurse. Dawn and I are CT techs. We see that shit as soon as it comes in, and we've got to deal with it. We've got to deal with the fallout, and it's hard. It's a hard job. People don't realize why we have such dark humors, but that's why we face death every single day.
Not only do we face it, we see it firsthand, but then we're expected to go on to the next person like nothing just happened.
Right.
Exactly.
Shove it down. Push it down. Move on to the next.
So a lot of people who don't understand what that means, that's why we have such dark humor, and we find humor in some shit that people would be like, you guys are sick. That's not even funny. Actually, it is funny.
It's super funny.
It's super funny. But it's the only way we cope. That's how we cope.
Right.
We cope with humor, and we cope with things like what we do here.
That's why all of our friends are who we work with, because they have the same. They have to put it in the same place we have to put it.
Right.
And that's why they have the same humor that we have.
Now, I was in the military, and I know what a bond is between friends you make in the military and friends you make in the civilian world, and there is no comparison because you guys are sharing the same tragedy and trauma there too. So, getting in the healthcare career field and having you guys as my friends and the friends that I surround myself with there, it's that same feeling. It doesn't matter, and nothing matters but that friendship, and people can't understand that bond, and they can't understand why we're all so tight when it comes to that stuff.
That's why they call it the front line, because It is a lot similar to military. I've never been in the military, but I feel like I have PTSD from the shit that we've seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's terrifying, and we're the first ones to see if something's wrong with somebody. We're the first ones to see, this is going to change their life.
And you can't tell them. That's the hardest part.
No, right.
You can't tell them.
Right.
After we scan them, well, they'll always say, well, how's it look? Well,
it looks like shit.
But a giant grapefruit fucking sized tumor in your lung, but hey, everything else is great.
Yeah, the doctor's you'll get a report in about an hour. Yeah.
Yeah. So we went through a few areas through the hospital, and I'm going to play my favorite first, because not only is it my favorite because it's such a cool, interesting thing, but it's my favorite because it was the very first EVP that Nicole and I ever captured.
It popped his cherry.
It popped.
He was a virgin
cherry
before this time.
Now, let me see where it's at, because I know it's in here somewhere. Is this it? I think this is it. So, Nicole and I are walking around, and she just got her first little recorder. She's all excited. I was like, well, let's go test it out. And we did a quick little, 5-10 minute jaunt.
If that.
Yeah,
it wasn't
to the
long.
cancer center. And we didn't think anything of it. We were just still kind of amateur about how to do it and all that stuff. And we walked over to where there's a control room in there for CT for cancer patients in the cancer center. And Nicole normally just asks a simple question, anybody around here? And what we're about to play is probably the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life. And we didn't hear it. That's the cool thing. We didn't hear it until Nicole and I left there, and she was reviewing what she got. And I've never seen anybody stop so fast in their tracks and say, oh, fuck. And then she played it for me, and I was like, no fucking way. And it was the coolest thing ever. So let us play it, shall we? That's not working. What the fuck? Hold on.
Clip it out. Nope.
Is there anyone here?
All right, so I'm going to play it again so everybody else can get another here. You guys are going to probably have to turn up. Now, I'm going to tell you, some of these are not the best quality for two reasons. The areas that we go to are really loud. There's a lot of machinery that makes a lot of noise. And sometimes the voices are so low, and I can only do so much without destroying the integrity of not only the audio, but my own integrity, because I am not going to manipulate these in any way. That's just not the way I am. I'm not doing this for shock factor or entertainment value other than what's there. Let you guys make your decision on what it is, but I'm going to play it one more time. You guys ready?
Is there anyone here?
So it sounds like a little baby saying mama as soon as you said, is anyone there?
Yep.
Which is heartbreaking too, because it's in the cancer center.
Yeah.
Of all places, you don't want a kid is in a cancer center, because you know that shit, it's done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it breaks my heart.
So
I don't know if you can turn it up, but this is my favorite.
So, yeah, it's my favorite as well, just for so many reasons. It was the first one. It was the first time Nicole and I did stuff. And then from there, it was just downhill. I mean, every fucking week, we're like, all right, where are we going to go this week? What are we going to do this week? And, the culmination was the Yorktown, and we have many plans for many. Dude, we are going to have so many fucking shows on ghost hunting stuff.
Yeah.
You guys are going to love it.
Yeah.
I forgot to introduce our sound Foley for the day.
Foley artist.
Mara.
Again.
And making fucking noise as usual. Girl, she's going to be 1 tomorrow.
Happy birthday!
Just so you guys know, it's August 23rd. Mara was born
Mara
on
birthday.
August 24th. So we're also going to put this up on our website, which, let me remind everybody, our email is thedeadtimeradio@gmail.com. We have a website. It's www.thedeadtimeradioshow.com. And you can call us at 843-492-7966. Tell us stories about your ghost hunting experiences. Tell us about the ghost stories of your life, things that you've dealt with, things like that. Tell us any stories you want. We love that shit. We want to read it, we want to hear it, and we want to share it. So, yeah.
There's places to go.
Oh,
Tell us where we can go and
Tell
look.
us where.
So many.
We're
awesome
in
places.
Charleston, so
Yes.
if you know anywhere that's really super cool, like
Yes.
we know the jail, which the jail is no longer. They're actually making them offices, which we're
angers us.
stupid. Which it's going to be haunted. Whoever works in that office, I really feel sorry for because they're going to be.
We should take bets
Haunted
on
crap.
how long you think it'll last that it'll stay open.
It won't. It
'Cause
will
people
not.
get freaked out. They'll be
People
like,
are
"I
going to
ain't
work.
fucking
I'm
working
not
there."
working here anymore.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you have fucking greed.
Yeah, you don't get enough money, and then you got to sell it.
So, Nicole, while we were still in the cancer center, this is the weirdest thing that I've gone over these audio files. I can't even begin to tell you a million times what I've done and keep going over and over and over again. And then I find things that I missed the last time because I'm finding new ways to make the audio come out a little bit better. So we're standing over in the chairs where the people get their chemo. Mm-hmm. And we were just standing there. And it was around that time we started hearing the computers going weird.
The beeps.
You remember?
Okay. USB connector.
And I just
Yeah.
kind of tapped you for a second. But when I tapped you, somebody else said something.
Oh. Is that you?
Yeah. Yeah. So let me play that one more time.
Is that you?
And that's definitely not your voice.
No.
It's what? What? It's not asking it like Lil Wayne. What? It's what? So I thought that was interesting. I'm gonna play it one more time with my mouth shut so people can hear it one more time. You guys probably have to turn these up. And like I said, we're gonna put these on our website as well, so you can
hop on there.
listen to them all to your. And we're also going to put that section that's unprocessed, so you'll actually hear the unprocessed version, and then you're gonna hear the version of where I'm putting compressor and limiter on everything to make everything boost up a little more so you can hear better.
Is that you?
I just find that fascinating.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
You and I are the only two people in that room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the very first time.
Apparently not.
Yeah,
No,
right?
there's a lot more people
right,
there.
Obviously, there's
a
more
kid
than
there,
just you.
there's a woman there. Yeah.
Oh,
And the
man.
thing is, that doesn't even sound like our friend. That sounds like something completely different.
Yeah, and there's a couple times where we've had that, where we've walked around and we've heard different voices.
Different accents.
Yeah, different accents.
There's a Filipino lady. Like, there's just so
old
many
lady.
different. Old lady. Yeah.
The dude.
A little
There's
man.
every once in a while you hear a man.
Old
walking around.
man. Yep.
So after that, you had done a little jaunt with one of your buddies in the ICU, and you walked through the OR. Now, this wasn't our first trip to any of these areas, but this was the first trip that you made in there to test things out.
Yeah.
And because there's a lot of stories of things that were going on in there, and you were curious to find out what it was. So there was a few things in there that were pretty fascinating. So there were only two people, you and one other person.
Correct.
There seems to be a lot of intelligent interaction with these voices and entities, because you've heard of the two types of hauntings that there are. There's residual hauntings, and then there's intelligent hauntings. And residual hauntings, for those of you that don't know, is something that's like on a time loop. It's on a loop. It just continuously happens regardless of who's there. It doesn't ever interact with anybody. And that's when you hear things like, I saw a lady in white walk through a wall, and then somebody else sees it like a week later in the same spot at the same time. It's just a residual haunting, which makes me think and wonder, is it really ghosts, or is it an alternate parallel universe? So when we die, we go to a different universe, and now it's clashing with ours because there's a veil between the two.
We've talked about that before.
Absolutely.
On the other stories that we do, yeah.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder. It's
I mean,
weird.
this could be.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Right. All right, so this one I just named Odd Female Voice 2 ER, or OR, because some of these I can't understand what they're saying, but you can definitely hear there's something there. This is going to be a little noisy, but bear with me. I'm going to play this again.
Dr. May, are you here?
Now, to me, it sounds like they're saying whisper.
I heard that's right.
Because I'm hearing the in the front. Right. Like a what? But it sounds like whisper. Now, the thing that's interesting about it is you're going to hear that S sound through a lot of these. And that's what makes me think maybe there's something else that's following us around, you around, in particular, Nicole, because it seems to be anytime we go somewhere, it's always that voice is around when you're around. And that's why I wonder if maybe something's just kind of been hanging with you for a while. Which is not always a bad thing, because you've never had any bad experiences other than that first Ouija board one by yourself, other than, when you're going on ghost hunts with other shit.
Right.
But nothing, you've never come to us and told us, oh my God, you'll never fucking believe what happened to me at my house last night.
Well, there's
Somebody
been nothing.
punched me in the stomach.
Well, yeah, nothing.
You know what I mean? Nothing violent.
Nothing violent,
right.
but just seeing things out of the corner of my eye, hearing a couple of things from time to time.
Right. Which, hell, everybody does that. Everybody's got that. Not everybody, but a lot of people have that, where it's a benign entity that's hanging out with them. It could be some people call them guardian angels. Some people call them, whatever. I call them chicks I wish would be alive. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so that one was pretty cool. And then the next one we have here is another odd female voice. And this one says, oh, wow, in my opinion. Now, what I'm telling you what I hear, Dawn's telling you what she hears, Nicole's telling you what she hears. You make up your own mind what you hear. If it's different from ours, that's cool. That's fine. Nobody really knows what's being... Some of these are obvious. You can definitely hear what they're saying. It's the ones that are not so obvious that are a little bit harder to do. But let me play this one for you.
Neptune is a portable suction. Kind of cool. That's huge. And 9 liters. Jeez.
So, you're there with Tiffany. Mm-hmm. She says, geez. And right after that, another voice out of fucking nowhere goes, oh, wow. I'm going to play that again.
Neptune is a portable suction. Kind of cool. That's huge. And 9 liters. Jeez.
You can hear it's a different tone. It's a different...
Yeah. And what she was describing was the Neptunes, which are basically portable suction units that they have for ORs. They're tall canisters.
Ginormous. And it's really, I think, 20 liters.
Yeah, they pop these big giant bags of saline. I worked at an outpatient orthopedic clinic, and they use those all the freaking time in their surgeries. It's really interesting to see them. So that one was kind of cool. Because, again, it's that intelligent response that fascinates me.
And you don't hear it when you're there.
Right, you don't hear it.
So you come back and you're like, oh, man.
Like, what?
Listen to this.
Hell?
Right, and
What the hell?
That's like fascinating to me as the audio guy going back and listening and going, wait a minute, that wasn't there when we were standing here. I didn't hear it. Nobody in the other fucking room heard it. What the hell?
And the more people that you have with you, like there's some of the investigations that we go on that are more than just the 3 of us or the 2 of us.
Right.
So you know that person and what they sound like. And
right.
Yeah.
The people that we go with, we've been around for a while on a few hunts now, and we know exactly their timbre of their voice, their mannerisms. And, that's what I love about the group we have. Everybody's really, really respectful of being quiet and listening, because I think everyone is really fascinated and interested in it. And they want to find out, too. And like I was telling Dawn at the last show, the Yorktown thing was a pleasant surprise. That family that was with us was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
They were just as cool as we were. Mm-hmm. They were very respectful. They were very quiet. And they were fun.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm glad we didn't get like a whole bunch of dickbag teenagers going in there.
It could have easily went that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really could have.
And fucked it all up for everybody, because then there would have been a fight. Mm-hmm. And I'm just glad. We got lucky with that one.
Well, that and whatever's on New Yorktown was really fascinated with that young girl.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, she was fucking gorgeous girl.
Well, yeah, she was also like, what, 12?
Yeah, I don't know, 16, 17 probably. But yeah, it was just really cool. So here's another one we got here. This one I called odd female voice too.
I think it's 11 and 12.
So it's right there, right after you say something about someone being tall. There's another voice that It's not Tiffany's voice. I've heard Tiffany's voice. That's definitely not Tiffany's voice. No, it's 11 and 12. It's just kind of an odd...
It sounded like it was talked through like a mask
right.
or muffled. Yeah, like your hand is over your mouth.
Or like it was maybe trying to correct whatever it was that I was saying.
Oh, yeah.
Possible.
Yeah, they do that too. They're intelligent. So they're
play this one more time.
No,
it's 11 and 12. I just found that fascinating.
So we don't know what they say. What do you think it says? Tell us what you hear on some of these, because I hear some. It's like Laurel and Yanni. It's some people hear Laurel, some people hear Yanni, and it's just I think it's how you accept sound into your ear. So the younger you are, you hear more.
It's almost like that picture of the sneakers that are green or blue, and they ask you which color they are, and some people even said pink. Like,
and the dress, the golden white dress, it's blue and black, and like that. It's just how you bring the information in. So tell us what you guys hear.
This is probably one of my favorite ones in here because it creeped me out when I first heard it.
Let's hear this.
Oh my god, I just got chilled.
Yeah, that's a creepy one, man.
That was a good one.
I'm going to play that one more time.
Let's hear this.
Just the way it responded. Nobody but us. That's something you hear in a fucking horror movie.
Yeah, it is. Like nobody. Nicole says like nobody.
And Nicole, when I first played that for you, you were just like,
her eyes,
what was that?
Saucers.
And, right. Now, you notice a difference in here compared to at work. You can hear this much better in here.
Oh, yeah.
And when you hear it...
Because everything's cut down, all the outside. Because where we are, y'all, has...
It's loud.
It's loud on the recording. It's loud when you go in there because there's fans going, there's mechanical stuff, there's the air conditioner, there's the door, and when we're walking through, sometimes we'll say, that was the door, or that was Steve sighing, because he sighs, all the time. So when we hear a different sigh, and it's not Steve. So yeah, it's...
Plus you have the ears of a fucking, like... I don't know what it is about audio, but I can hear shit. Even in noise, like a loud fucking room, and I'm like, oh, listen to this. And you're like, I don't hear it. Listen closely. I don't hear it. Listen to it now.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Well, you're not listening to what you normally listen to. You're listening to the outside.
Right.
But the ancillary noise that you get used to, like your air conditioner on in your house, you get used to that sound.
Right.
But when the air conditioner goes out and it's dead silent, then you hear that it's out. But it's just something that you get used to. So that's a lot of the loud outside noises that, especially in the OR, it's a lot.
And keep in mind too that the recorders we use, those microphones are so sensitive.
Yes.
That they will pick up the most minute thing, and it will sound loud. And that is also one of the things that makes it hard to debunk, because in normal sound that we would hear, like a perfect example is the doors for one of the OR rooms.
Yes.
When it opens, it makes like this woo sound.
Yeah.
But with that microphone, it sounded like a demon growl.
Oh yeah.
Until I went back in there and heard it, and I debunked it, because like, oh, it's the door.
Right.
So that made it easier for me to really listen to other stuff and figure it out. And every time we go back to a place, I do that same thing.
We do try to debunk. We try to go back. We try to re-record.
Right.
There was a sound in the CT room, and I walked around and I found what the sound we were hearing, because it was a different sound. And I was like, it's on this side, but it's picking it up on that side of the room. So we do try to debunk. So we go back and record and make a note of what we're hearing.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. What's this one? So why is there a dude in there and it's just you and Tiffany?
He lives there.
He might live there, yeah.
Yeah, how odd is that?
Ay.
Yeah, that's a male voice. I don't know what it's exactly being said, but that's a male voice with just two females in that area at the time. When we're talking the middle of the night, there's no operating.
Yeah, it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It's dark 30.
Yeah. So this one was fun because you were saying, okay, we're leaving.
I remember this one.
All right, we'll leave now.
Oh!
Okay. I'm going to play it one more time.
All right, we'll leave now.
What do you hear it saying?
Okay.
What do you hear it saying? Tell
I
us
love
what you
that.
think.
I love
It
that.
says. Yeah, that was. It said it was
Okay.
intelligent.
Okay, see ya.
Okay.
Deuces, bitch.
Tempur-Pedic.
Exactly.
So, yeah, you were talking about one of the beds saying it was Tempur-Pedic, making a joke. You laughed, Tiffany laughed, and then somebody didn't find it funny.
It's Tempur-Pedic.
They totally disagree with you.
They disagreed. They felt that it wasn't Tempur-Pedic enough. It was probably not very comfortable.
I didn't look comfortable, but that's what was written on the side.
Right. Yeah, those
25 years ago.
Yeah,
they were
25. Yeah, it was
years.
perfect 25 years ago. Let's hear this one.
It needs to be plugged in.
So, another thing that happens a lot, and I'm going to play this again. You're starting a conversation, you're having a conversation, and then somebody's talking over you.
Story of my life.
Right. And this just happens to be somebody who's not really existing on this plane talking over you. And you don't see them, you don't hear them. But then when we play it back, and it's like, why does this conversation sound like somebody speaking gibberish? And then I piece out what's going on. I'm like, that's because it's not gibberish, it's somebody else talking over what they're talking about. It's fucking weird. We get a lot of participation.
Yes, we do.
Maybe we should walk around with participation medals from now on, too.
Hand them out
Hand them out
to the ghosties.
to the ghost, yep. Alright, let me play that one more time.
It needs to be plugged in.
It's just weird. It's just really weird. I got one more from your OR little thing. This one, let's see. Don't know what's being said, but it was just out of the blue. You got it, the dripping sound is actually Nicole's shoes.
Shoes.
She
I
was
don't wear
wearing
those
like
anymore,
these,
by the way.
these squeaky shoes that just sounded like a water faucet dripping every
Yeah.
time she walked.
But when we started recording, we're like, "This is my." I still say these are my shoes because
Right.
my insoles squeak when I
Right.
walk because
But
they move.
That's just a perfect example of how sensitive those microphones
Right.
are. That it can pick up what
Sounds
sounds
like
like
water.
a pop when you're actually walking and make it sound like a water
Yeah.
drip. And that's one of the things you have to differentiate. But that just was out of the blue. Just, hey, somebody said something. What do you guys think it said? I think that's... So your OR trip was very interesting. I'm going to go to my second favorite place we've ever gone to. Because the OR is my favorite place now. We have
Because
gotten
there's stuff
so much
all the
stuff.
time. Every
I
time
still
we
like
go.
the morgue, though. The morgue
Yeah.
area, that back.
Yeah.
That
Well,
back
that's
Oh.
that's
area.
what we're talking about right now. These are
Yeah.
some of my other all-time favorite EVPs because some of these are downright fucking creepy.
Yeah, this is. Yeah.
Just unbelievably creepy. I can't even begin to explain some of these. I am not somebody that gets scared easily. Okay? Unless it's a cockroach, then it scares the shit out of me. So you imagine you're in this room. It's 2:00 in the morning, and I don't really like lights. That's probably the only light that's on while I'm in here. I've got headphones on. My back is to the door, and I'm hearing these fucking voices. I get a little shiver. It happens. There was one night I actually freaked myself out.
Oh,
I
God.
told you about this.
Yes,
Dawn.
yes, you
I'm
did.
sitting here listening to these EVPs, right? And I had neglected to turn off one of the channels. So I'm listening as intently as I normally do, just going through the things, and I hear something, and I go back and play it again, and I forgot to turn that other channel off, and it's another audio altogether. And it just starts talking. And right as I did that, I bumped over here the chair, and it felt like somebody just touched me.
No, it was the Broncos blanket.
Yeah,
The Broncos
And
blanket.
it felt like somebody touched me, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" And I turned around, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" But it was fucking crazy, dude. It was funny as hell.
Then you had to go change your pants.
Then he had to get
Yeah,
changed.
basically, it was just unbelievable. So yeah, even I'm not impervious to being scared every once in a while, but it was just that startling thing, almost like when you're sitting and you go scratch and you feel a bug on your arm and you're like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know? It might be a harmless bug, but it's like you weren't ready for that.
There's another animal on you.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, so this is the loading dock / outside of the morgue COVID refrigerator.
COVID refrigerator.
This was our first trio as we went out to investigate because we had heard rumors about the loading dock being haunted, people feeling weird and hearing weird shit. Yeah, probably one of my favorite places.
Still kind of full.
So that's that little voice that we hear. It's very, very, very low in there. But you can already see, that was when we first walked out the door.
You can hear the
And
birds. The birds are
yeah.
chirping and stuff.
I did not hear that until later on when I was trying to refine these and get the best recordings I could fixed up for the show. And it just popped in there. And I was like, well, how come I didn't hear that before? And I think the reason why I didn't hear it before is because I was still learning that audio, you know? So if you hear it a few million times, you start to memorize where things are. So it's easier to pick out stuff that you didn't get before. That's one of the great things about studying that stuff. So I'll play it one more time. I know it's really low, it's really hard to hear, but you guys tell me if you can hear it.
Moon's still kind of full.
So it's like one syllable and then a 2-syllable word right after it. Like a 1-syllable pause and then 2 syllables. Like they're saying something. Like, I don't know if they're responding or they're just fucking babbling. It was just very interesting one there. Don and you both are pretty sensitive about stuff. When you go out there, you get weird feelings. Things like to scrape your neck, scrape your shoulder. Don just gets an overall like empathetic feeling about what's going on around it.
I get chest pain
Right.
or nausea
Right.
or
Which is kind of interesting. This is probably my all-time favorite loading dock one. So you're on the loading dock with us and you're talking about, a lot of people say that you don't have to antagonize a ghost to really get them to talk, I don't think. And I think that's really not a smart thing to do. But you try to bring the emotion of what it's like to give CPR to somebody. And you're explaining, and you're apologizing. It's like, I'm sorry we had to do that. I know it hurts, but we're trying to save your life. And obviously, somebody appreciated that and basically responded with you. Yeah.
Sorry we did CPR. I was over the sure it hurts. Didn't mean to hurt you. I have a headache on.
It's probably one of my favorites. It's just fucking creepy.
Yeah.
The way it's spoken.
yeah, terrifying.
I'll play it one more time and then I'll tell you what I think it says and you guys can tell us.
Sorry we did CPR. I was over the sure it hurts. Didn't mean to hurt you. I have a headache on the right.
So it's pretty clear what's being said in my mind. It sounds like it's saying secret you cannot know. It's just the reason why it stuck out is because of the cadence it's being spoken in. It's not a normal way people talk. And it just fascinated me when I heard it.
And the no part, you cannot know. Nicole starts talking. So at the very end of it, it's talking over her because
Right.
it hasn't finished its
Right.
sentence.
But you can hear it much better in here.
Yeah. Now I feel bad for interrupting her.
That's all right, though. You didn't know you were interrupting her.
No.
So, right shortly after that conversation, you're standing with us and you're telling us about the COVID refrigerator. Dawn asked, is that the COVID fridge? And you were like, yes. And then you were talking about how they split the bodies up. That basically there's this big steel door, that's the morgue, that's where they put the non-COVID patients, and then the COVID patients go in this refrigerator. And right when you said non-COVID patients, somebody started speaking over you in your conversation. And I still to this day don't know what that last word is, but this one is kind of weird. So you're going to hear Nicole say non-COVID, and when you hear the non, you're going to hear another not right after that, but it's not Nicole saying it, and it's very interesting.
The dead bodies in there? There's some, they all that come under in there, but not COVID, they're not that one.
Yeah, that one's just kind of odd. I'm going to play it one more time.
The dead bodies in there? There's some, they all that come under in there, but not COVID, they're not that one.
It sounds like it's saying do not throw out the balance to me.
I think it says bodies. Because we're basically talking about the COVID refrigerator.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the bodies, the COVID bodies, you have to keep away from the regular bodies in the morgue. So they're in a different. It's a
refrigeration.
Refrigeration.
Truck
It's a
thing.
yeah, it's a trailer that's refrigerated, right?
Because you gotta keep that meat cold, man. Otherwise, it's gonna stank. So yeah. Now this one was fascinating. We're still walking. I mean, we're basically walking out the perimeter of the hospital. We started on the loading dock and we're walking around. And Nicole's telling us this awesome story about this gentleman that apparently parked out in the back parking area, and all of a sudden started feeling really ill, and tried to walk his way over to the emergency room, which is on the other side of the facility, and he died on the way. And they found him outside, dead, laying around. That's all that Nicole has just told us. But somebody wanted to add and interject another factoid that Nicole didn't even mention yet, which I found fascinating.
In a car? He was parked in the parking lot, I guess, having some sort of chest pain in the middle of the night. He went to go to the front entrance, it was locked, and was walking around to the ER side to go check in, and was found in like near the physician parking area. Face down on his knees or near the curb, walk in that way to go back to CT. Yeah. You may not know he's gone. You may still be trying to get to the ER.
Now, did you notice there were two voices in that? Okay, so you're telling this story, and you've got me, which I'm not saying a word because I'm just holding the recorder. You're telling the story. Dawn is asking you questions. And there's another, almost girlish voice that goes, oh my God.
Yep.
And then another voice that says, he drove a white truck.
Yep.
I'm playing that one more time.
In the car? He was parked in the parking lot, I guess, having some sort of chest pain in the middle of the night. He went to go to the front entrance, it was locked, and was walking around to the ER side to go check in, and was found in near the physician parking area, face down on his knees near the curb, walk in that way to go back to CT. Yeah. You may not know he's gone. You may still be trying to get to the ER.
It's just fucking fascinating me.
But I can see why people think that that's my voice, because it does sound very similar.
It's got the same timbre and that smoky sound that you have in your voice.
That phone sex operator type
yeah,
thing?
that vocal fry. Like, oh my God. But yeah, it was fascinating. And my favorite thing is finding this and then showing it to you guys and seeing your reactions, because none of us heard that. And then I play it back and you guys are like, what the fuck? It's a beautiful thing. I love it. It's one of my favorite
perfected
things.
my WTF face here with this stuff.
I love it. I love it. This is probably the clearest one we've ever had. All I can think about every time I hear it is Full Metal Jacket and Vietnamese hooker. That's all I can think of. I can't, well, because she sounds like a Vietnamese hooker. But this is probably one of my favorite ones. So yeah, it was very weird. Very, very weird.
Yeah.
Can't understand what the hell's going on there. Somebody wants to... I'm going to play it one more time. Yeah. So somebody wants to go home.
I want to go home. Yeah.
That one was kind of creepy as well.
That was wicked.
Because it's unexpected.
And we're at the morgue, so...
Yeah. It's like, you can't go home, honey.
Not vertically, anyway.
Right. Well, if there was a way you could do it almost like a quest where you could get these spirits back to either their home or their loved ones. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Like if there was an article of their clothing or something that you had to find and place it in another spot, because you hear old stories about that kind of stuff where it's like perfect example, there was a ghost story about this person that kept getting haunted in their house and couldn't figure out why, and then they found out the history of the house, that somebody had been murdered there and buried underneath the house. So they excavated, they found the bones, then they removed the bones and put them in sanctified ground, and the haunting stopped.
It's almost like they're waiting for something.
Right.
Maybe.
And like they're trying to tell you, hey, I'm not supposed to be here. Find a way to fix it. And they can't communicate that. They can't tell you, my bones are underneath your house, motherfucker. If you take them out, I will leave you alone. It's just kind of the way it is. It's kind of cool. This one was kind of a cool one.
But he was found, like, on his knees, having over the curb.
So the thing that's interesting about that one, I'm going to play one more time.
But he was found, like, on his knees, having over the curb.
It sounds like a man. And it's just kind of disheartening to know that there's fucking fact checkers in the afterlife as well.
Yeah.
Basically, it sounds like the guy's basically going, yep, that's what happened. It's quick, it's small,
Yep.
you can hear it. But yeah, it sounds like, oh yeah, that's exactly what happened. Could it have been him?
Could have been, yep.
You know what I mean? Him going, yep, that's exactly what happened to me. Very fascinating. So we're walking around, we're at the front entrance now, and there's a bench there, and there's, for some strange reason that night, there was a child's crown sitting on the bench. And Dawn picked it up, because that's Dawn. Could have been cursed, but who knows?
It was pretty. It was shiny.
Yeah,
Exploring
right?
It was
things.
shiny.
Exactly.
I had to pick up a shiny.
So we're still kind of having this conversation about the guy. It's like Nicole's being our tour guide about his path from the parking lot to the ER. And we still don't know how he died. Nobody really got that information. But I think this ghost wanted to tell us how he died.
Because I thought that, I just kind of assumed most of the people that we get like that are, you know, the cardiac arrest, where
Right.
they're all like MIs.
Right. Which is
Not always.
similar.
apparently.
I mean, that's pretty common.
Yeah.
Well, apparently I don't think it was.
I don't think so either.
Able to, unlock the truck.
You found your princess crown.
So basically, it sounds to me, again, talking over us while we're having a conversation about a fucking crown, this ghost decides to interrupt to tell us how this person died.
Able to, unlock the truck.
You found your princess crown.
It sounds like they're saying stroke.
Yeah. So I think before we'd actually talked about this, I think I kept saying he'd had a heart attack or something.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And you kept saying that. And if you notice now, throughout this whole thing, you have not even mentioned the type of vehicle
No.
he has driven yet.
Nope.
Yet we already know from listening to this after the fact
ghost
that he
said
drove a white
he drove
truck.
a white truck.
Yeah, it was a white truck.
This is what fascinates me about all of this. I love this. Before I continue to play some more, because trust me, guys, I got a shit ton here. That's why this is a 2-hour episode. And because our season finales are usually 2 hours anyway. Give us a call at 843-492-7966 or send us an email at thedeadtimeradio@gmail.com or send us comments on any of our shows that we have posted on our website now, www.thedeadtimeradioshow.com. We love you guys. We want you to tell us all your wonderful stories. Tell us what you think of our show. Tell us if we suck.
We don't suck.
Ladies, you can tell us how fucking beautiful I am. It's all good. I can take a compliment. Hey, Poppy. All right. This one I couldn't understand was being said, but it was a very interesting sound. So somebody's speaking before you started speaking, but it sounds like they're either speaking another language or they're speaking gibberish. It was very interesting. And it sounded like a little girl's voice.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all know what it says, like if you speak that language, let us know what
Yeah, please.
it's saying, because it does sound like it's a different language.
Yeah.
If you were fluent in gibberish, give us a call.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm going to play that one more time. It's very strange. And it sounds like it has kind of an accent as it's speaking. It is very, very fascinating. Yeah. So another fact checker decided to show up for this one. Nicole was talking, and we were getting close to the spot where they found him. Mm-hmm. And Nicole basically stated an obvious fact. Oh, that was Dawn. So Dawn stated the fact that he almost made it, and then somebody verified that, and it was nobody in our group. That was very interesting. He almost made it. It's,
He almost made it.
yeah. This is another one of my favorite ones. So we're still walking, and Dawn, just out of the blue, asks, does anybody want to tell us anything, any story? Well, some old lady wanted to give us a story. I'm going to play that one more time. I know this one's hard to hear. One more time. It sounds to me like she's saying he fell into the river. And you can definitely tell it's an old lady's voice because it's got that old lady timbre. It almost sounds like Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, there was another one that I didn't catch until later, and it sounds like it's the same voice. And this is when you guys were looking up at one of the windows and asking, what is that flickering up there in the room? Is that a light going on and off or whatever? And I said, no, that's a TV. But while you guys were pointing up and asking about it, somebody else wanted to let you know about who fell in the river.
So the window's black and there's this light there. Okay, yeah, this side.
Play that one more time.
So the window's black and there's this light there. Okay, yeah, this side.
It sounds like she's saying, I need him to be home again.
So the window's black and there's this light there. Okay, yeah, this side.
That's a really cool one.
It's clearly an old lady voice. It was clearly an old, I need him to be home again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome, man. Some of these don't really scare me. They fascinate me.
Yeah. These people are still there. It's the traumatic part of their life. It happens there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It leaves an imprint.
Yeah. We got a couple more from here, and then we'll go to the Big Mondo Grand OR investigation, which was another one of my favorites because we got some really creepy, weird shit there. This one's hard to hear because there's a lot of noise and background noise. It's right there in the middle. Somebody's saying something. It's very, very low. Can't really understand what's being said, but it's just an anomalous voice, anomalous noise.
Well, our Folly artist is chewing on her
Mara's
Pepsi
making
bottle.
ghost noises for us. This is how you do EVPs, Dad.
Exactly.
That picture frame is moving.
Which one? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's blowing from right here.
Do you know where that was, Nicole?
That's the CT area.
That was in CT.
We had just come into the building. We went back into our little area, and you pointed at a picture that was flapping from the wind current. We were like, yeah, that's just because there's a duct right up above it. But did you notice that there was something near the end there of that conversation? I'm going to play it one more time.
That picture frame is moving.
Which one? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's blowing from right here.
That's the same voice that we hear every once in a while following us wherever we go. It's a female voice. I didn't even hear it until I started listening to this a little bit more and boosting, and I was like,
What?
that wasn't there.
No.
That was very odd, very strong. And then I got one more from that, and I think it's the same voice in the same area. This is when you were pointing to the back curtain that was moving because of the air current. You didn't realize that there was like some fucking shitty flow going on in there. But yeah. Another what?
Scanner?
Yeah. Another what?
Another
Scanner?
Yeah, it's like she's repeating what you're saying. Because it sounds like she said exactly what you just said. But I know it wasn't you. I was standing right next to you. And there's no, like, echo on these microphones. We're not putting reverb on there or delay. So there's no reason for you to say the same thing twice in a row like that.
No.
So I found those fascinating. That's why I loaded them up on here. Because I can't explain that one. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's an audio anomaly or if it's I don't know. It just sounded weird that you normally don't repeat yourself like that when you're talking.
That corner creeps me out every time I go in there now.
Does it?
Yeah, even if the picture frame is not moving and the curtain's not moving, it always almost feels like there's someone just standing back there waiting to jump out and scare me.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, I'm not going back there without you with me now.
Let's tell
From now
Nicole
on.
what has happened this weekend and last week.
Oh my God. Yeah, go ahead.
So, last weekend, I was in room 1, Dawn was in room 3 doing quality control on the machine, and I had a patient. And I was transferring the patient from their bed to the CT table. And that one of the security guards comes in and talks to Dawn and says, "Do you need an assist?" And she goes, "What are you talking about?" The assist button's going off in room 1. He comes around through the control center. Dawn comes busting in like gangbusters through the main door, thinking, "Oh my God, Billy's in trouble. He's in there by himself, whatever, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You know, as she walks in. She goes, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." She goes, "You don't need an assist?" I'm like, "No." "Well, the button's going off." And I look, the button is across the room from me. I was nowhere near it. And I was like, "I didn't push it. I've been over here the whole time." So she goes over to turn it off. It turned itself off before she even touched it.
I never touched it, and it went off. Yeah.
So that was odd. So then this
So the
weekend,
security guard just backs out of the room.
Yeah.
Okay, you're good.
yeah,
He just backs
you can
out of the
kind of
room.
see in his face. He's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he just backs out.
Right.
He's like, okay, you're good.
So this weekend, it started off with, what was that, Friday night? We're sitting there, and out of my peripheral, I see just a little black skirt across.
Like a minion, a small little.
Like, yeah, it was like a little black shadow.
It wasn't me, I promise.
Right where the door, right where the doorway to come into our control room is.
See, I see stuff like that.
Little black something
Yeah.
zipped across, and then I'm following it subconsciously, and I look up and see like a quick little zip across on the camera.
We have a video camera that's videoing where the patient holding area is in
Right.
case anything happens to the patients in there.
Right.
You know, we can watch them.
And that was it. That was it.
Watch the little minion.
So last
Yeah.
night we're sitting there, and Dawn's talking to me, and she looks up and she goes, "Somebody just went into room 3." She saw it on that same camera.
No, the door opens. There's an electric door that you have to either wave
Right.
your hand over or hit the button.
So the door opens by itself.
I look up.
Dawn looks up to see who's coming in, because you can see who's coming in through that door, and she goes, "Somebody just went into room 3." And I was like, "All right." So we got up and went and walked over there. There was nobody in there, but one of the cupboard doors was wide open. One of the doors that we would never
We
go
don't
into
use that.
for any
There's
reason
nothing in there that we
whatsoever.
use.
And
Yeah.
all the pillows were thrown on the floor. And as soon as we walked in there, all of us that were there, it was me, you, and who
Casey.
else? Casey, the X-ray tech. All just got this chill, like this electrical chill when we walked in there.
Goosebumps,
It
yes.
was like kind of weird. It's like, what the hell? It was very, very interesting.
So, this past Saturday night, our entrance into the ICU on the employee side is badge access. There's a button on the inside you can open to get out, but to go in is badge access.
Right.
So I'm standing in the hallway where I'm looking at that door, but down the front hallway at the same time. I think I just dropped something off at desk 1. The door opens. So I look, because I hear it. There's nobody going in, there's nobody going out. It just opens by itself. I'm like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of
So
weird.
you're waiting on somebody to come around the corner to push a stretcher or
Just
somebody.
something. Or
Right.
to, seal out our supply room or something. But yeah, nobody. Nobody left. Nobody came in.
Last night, we also had another weird thing. The trauma beeper did like 2 beeps and then stopped. I called the ER and I'm like, "You guys got a trauma coming in?" "No." I was like, "You got a neuro coming in?" "No." why the fuck did my pager just go off? Like it went deet, 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 and stopped. It was fucking weird.
No, it's not the battery, because the battery makes, when we need to change the battery, it's a totally different little sound.
Chirp.
Yeah.
So Dawn was on her break. I was by myself, and it was just weird. I was like, what? That's fucking weird. So I chalked that up as some more paranormal fascination stuff. It was kind of interesting, and I think maybe through all this, we've become a little bit more attuned to the things that we probably never noticed before, because now we're picking things up and hearing them and going, that's not normal. I find it very fascinating. So with that, we are going to go to the OR again. But this time we have a little bit of a bigger group. We have one extra person. We have our friend Steve, which fucking love Steve. Steve's one of the greatest guys ever.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the same dry humor I have. He's very low key, soft spoken, but he's funny as fuck. And he's fascinated. He's like me. He's a little skeptical.
So now in our group, I think this is what our paranormal group is going to be consist of. There's 2 skeptics and then 2 believers.
Right.
So that would be Nicole and I are the believers, and then you and Steve are the skeptics, like full on.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. That's what we want, because you don't want everybody to be a believer. You're going to have some people in there be like trying to explain what it is. And honestly, there are some things that we're about to hear that even Steve and I could not explain, which makes it fascinating. And this is the first one. Nicole, you went to go get us some covers for being able to walk through the OR, and jokingly you grabbed one that I had jokingly grabbed before when we were going to try and do something, but we couldn't. And I'm putting it on, and I'm being goofy, and Steve looks at me and is giggling, because that's what we do when we get together. We do goofy shit and giggle. And he says, you look like a sheik. Well, I'm not the only one, or he wasn't the only one that thought that. Somebody else decided that they wanted to chime in too. That was a very odd one. Because that was a whispery chic. It wasn't, I mean, yeah, Steve's voice is a little low, but you can tell he was like, you look like a chic. And then somebody else decided he wanted to chime in too. Found that one funny. So then we're walking down the hallway. We're getting over to one of the OR rooms. Nobody heard this, because if we any of us would have heard this, we would have reacted and said, what was that?
OR 2.
And that's not the door, because we went back over there and tried to debunk it. Like, maybe it's the door swinging, because some of those doors do make a lot of noise.
Right.
It's nothing.
That was not the door.
OR 2.
Nobody sneezed. Nobody coughed. Nobody made any noises.
To me, it sounds like, what happened?
The only thing that you hear is the squeak of shoes.
Yeah.
OR 2.
I think it sounds like it's saying, shut up.
Yeah.
Because we're talking.
Yeah, it's
it
very
could be,
weird. There was quite a few babbly voices in there that were kind of crazy.
The OR is kind of like the library.
That one, you can't hear that one very good. There's a couple of them in here that I'm just going to go through because fucking can't really hear.
We'll just put them all on the website.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Y'all can just kind of scroll through.
We're going into another OR room, and this one kind of brought a little terror in my mind, because I remember basic training and going through the MEP station and getting my physical, and I've heard this sound before, the prostate exam. It sounds like somebody snapping a glove, like the doctors do in the operating room
when
they
you
put their
your
hand in there, and
like
the surgery tech lets go. It makes that snap sound, and that's exactly what it sounded like.
Very clear.
Now, had I known that, I would have just leaned over the table and just closed my eyes, because I knew what was coming. Did you just call me stupid?
Close your eyes? What you gotta close your eyes for?
Because I'm waiting for the pleasure.
Stop. You're ridiculous.
I know it's coming. I'm ready to bite my lip.
No. You need help.
Just have to relax.
You need help.
That's right. You have to just let it happen.
No.
Okay, Dawn? Just
No.
let it happen.
No.
Oh, man. I'm going to play that one more time. It's that little voice in between what Steve says and my laugh. I can't understand what it is. It's not a voice. It's almost like a click, like something switching over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or it could actually just be an audio anomaly.
Yeah.
It could be absolutely nothing. But I put it in the list because it was something that I can't explain. And that's basically what this list is. It doesn't always mean it's a voice. It's electronic phenomenon. It's weird. It could be anything. This one wanted to respond to a question.
So the rattling in here is the AC.
Yeah. They wanted to fact check what I just said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the AC, you dumbass.
So the rattling in here is the AC.
Yep. Sure is. Oh, man. This one creeped me out. I don't know why this was said. I can't think of any reason why this was said. I'll just play it and you can decide for yourself what it's being said, and I'll tell you what I think it is, and then you can tell me why you think it would have said something like this. Now, keep in mind, this is in the operating rooms, so I don't know why this would be said. Did you hear that? Let me play it one more time. One more time. To me, it sounds like they're saying burn it down. Why would anybody want to say that in the operating room?
It would be super easy. We had a lady smoking in the ER room the
Oh
other
my
day.
God.
She
Did
lit
you
up.
know
She had
about that,
oxygen
Nicole?
on, and she had was smoking a cigarette
In her room.
in her room.
Well, we got a patient one
And then
time who
pissed on
was
the floor.
Smoking.
No, she pooped on the floor, and then she wiped it on her bed in the floor.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
we had one that was smoking crack oxygen and
What?
blew her face up.
Nice.
What?
I mean, it's been a while, but she thrived.
Lovely.
But yeah, people do stupid shit like that all the time.
Yeah.
Blow up the hospital.
So we're walking in the hallway, just came out of one of the rooms, and this one was kind of creepy. I don't remember seeing any snakes in the hallway.
That's so
The
good.
snakes on the plane.
Snakes in the home.
It's just weird. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
a
weird.
yeah. I don't need no motherfucking snakes
In the motherfucking
in the
hall.
motherfucking
of the
hall
hospital.
of the motherfucking operating room.
It sounds like we're talking in the background, and that is close to your microphone. So
Well, that's the odd thing. It doesn't matter where you are microphone-wise for some of these. It sounds like
Right.
it's right in there. And we showed that with your recorder and my recorder picking up the same sound at the same distance, which was virtually impossible. It's physically and scientifically impossible to get the same volume level out of two recorders when you and I are standing almost 10 feet apart.
correct.
It's
and we've
impossible.
gotten it.
So, and I'm saving
The
that one.
same
It's at the end.
intensity for mine as it is for yours, right?
Right. I mean, there's no change in the level at all. It's very weird.
Have you actually heard voices or whatever outside of what you're getting at in recorders?
No, as in like actually heard? No. I can say now that yes, I have, and that was on the Yorktown.
That was on the Yorktown,
and
yeah.
I actually verified that with the EVP.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. But did you hear there was like a voice that was shouting in between his question? And that's when the level goes up in the audio because I tried to boost that section. So I'm going to play that one more time.
Have you actually heard voices or whatever outside of what you're getting at in recorders?
No, as in like actually heard? No. That was very interesting. It was like somebody was saying, like hollering something, almost like they were protesting. That's the way the cadence that it sounded like.
Or trying to make you hear it out loud.
They're trying to make, they're trying to.
Right. They're like hollering
Raise
to
their
try
voice.
and get you to hear them. which fascinates me. I'm going to say fascinates quite a bit. People are going to be writing in.
This is a drinking game, so just take a shot every time he says fascinates.
Anytime I say butthole or fascinates, you automatically
You
gotta
will
start
not
drinking.
hear. You will not finish the podcast.
That's right. You'll be drunk. That one was creepy.
Yeah. So was answering me before I said we were at OR7.
Do you know what my favorite part about this is? Some of these are ones that Nicole hasn't even heard yet. So I'm looking at her face and she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, my what the fuck face is very strong.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
How do you feel about these?
They're fascinating.
Fascinating.
Chalk one up for Nicole.
Some are kind of creepy.
Yeah, some of them are very creepy.
And I want to go back to where we did those and do them again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Absolutely.
Every time we try, we're getting killed. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been unbelievable this past few times.
Oh, it is like, yeah.
Haven't been able to do anything.
It sucks.
So we can't take our break and go do stuff because we're too busy working. So, all right, I'm going to play that one more time. It's just fucking weird, man.
That's her friend, though. That's
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Right.
We need her name.
So you guys have heard that Peter Gabriel song "Big Time," right?
Big time. Do, 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 do.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. If you've heard, I can almost guarantee you've heard it.
Okay.
There's in the very beginning. There's he goes, "Hi there."
It's a Max Headroom.
Right.
He used to be like the just a.
Well, somebody wanted to say hi to us too.
It's going to be very loud on that one.
Right after I said that one, you can hear it. Right before Don says, "Yeah."
It's going to be very loud on that one.
Hi there.
Hi there.
Hi there.
Yeah. Very, very weird.
At least they're friendly.
Oh, yeah. And I think...
Not all of them are.
The more that we do this, the more they talk to us. Like, they're getting used to us being there.
Yeah.
Or,
But not all of them, I feel, are very friendly. Some of them sound really...
But the majority.
Angry.
Right. Well, you would be angry if you
Yeah.
died in the OR and then they are like, oh, no, you're going to wake up and your family's outside and, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a routine surgery and then you don't make it out of there.
nothing routine about surgery.
That is
No,
correct.
ever.
But they do.
Ever.
They do,
Because
yeah.
there's
Say
unseen
that.
factors. The doctor can ask you a million questions and know all about you, but there's always an unseen factor that maybe your body will react to something.
You
and
may
that'd
be
it.
allergic to the anesthesia. You
Perfect
may.
example.
Right.
I got an endoscope done on my stomach about 2006 because I have some acid reflux problems real bad. I coded on the table because my stomach does not I know this is TMI for everybody, but my stomach doesn't digest food fast enough sometimes, depending on the type of food. And I ate 14 hours prior to that because you're supposed to not eat 12 hours. So I had a big meal. That was the last meal of the day. Yet there was still food in my stomach. And I aspirated on that food.
Delicious.
And my face was so blue. And my sats were like almost in the 60s. And then I ended up projectile vomiting all over one of the techs. And the funny thing is was where I worked. So I came in the next day and they're like, what the fuck are you doing here? I was the only x-ray tech. Who's going to take your x-rays if I'm not here? I'm gray by that time. And they're like, you almost fucking died yesterday, dude. Why are you here? Well, I gotta work. I'm a fucking moron. But yeah, so, I mean, it's something as simple as just a scope, a stomach scope, could go very badly. I ended up, something that should have only taken 30 minutes took 2 hours. And my dad was in the waiting room waiting for me the whole time, and nobody went out and told him anything about it. And I was still drugged up. When they were going to send me to the hospital, I said, the fuck I'm going to the hospital? I went home and just, like, crashed out, took about 7 showers because I felt horrible. And I went to work the next morning.
Because you had food in your lung where it's only supposed to
Right.
be air.
I busted a blood vessel in my eye, too.
Probably from
'Cause I
vomiting
coughed
so hard.
Yeah, I
Oh,
coughed so
coughing,
hard.
yeah.
So, like, my dad picks me up. He's like, what took so long? And I was still drugged out. I was like, oh, I almost died.
You did die. You died. You died.
That's how our family handles it.
Yeah. And I'm going to work tomorrow.
I can't call in sick. That's why my manager loved me so much, because I never called in sick, even if I died the next
Even
day.
if you were
the day
dead, you
before, yeah.
called in dead.
I called in dead.
We just get a Ouija board to ask you to cover your
Right,
shit.
Right.
Can you cover your shit, Billy,
Right.
with a Ouija board?
Oh my God! Just circle yes or no, Billy. That's all we need. Do I need
Are
to
you
get
gonna be there?
the temp tech?
We just need somebody to run the machine.
Oh fuck!
You can be
man.
dead and run the machine.
You can be dead. And
Right.
Yeah, we all are in our soul. We're all dead and
Basically,
running the
yeah.
machines.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so this one was kind of cool.
I mean, I didn't feel sick. I just felt. I mean, I didn't feel sick.
Right before I say I didn't feel sick, you can hear a voice saying something. It's a female voice.
Yeah.
To me, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like it's saying you are.
I mean, I didn't feel sick. I just felt.
It's very faint. I know I keep reiterating this, but I just want people to understand some of these may be hard to hear over internet radio. But like I said, we're going to post a lot. I'm going to pick the best ones and post them on our page so that you can hear them and you can crank up your radio as loud as you want. And I'll put the unprocessed ones there too. You can do your own investigation. You can download them, put them in your audio workstation of choice, clean them up, and if you like them, let us know. Send them back to us.
Yes, please.
That would be freaking awesome.
Hey, do you have the one where you felt the thing in OR? Did you leave that
I
one in here?
believe I do.
Okay. I was just
but
wondering
I don't
if you
know
did,
if
because I didn't think
put
there was
it
any
on the list.
EVPs, but it was just your experience
Yeah.
in that room.
I don't know if I added it into this list. I still have it, but I think it's still in the actual
In the
project.
urology room, yeah.
Yeah. Somebody didn't want Don to ask him questions. No. Can you tell us something? No. No.
No,
He didn't want to tell
I
you
don't have
something,
anything to
Don.
talk to you. I'm not going to talk to you.
No. I mean, he probably didn't like the fact that you're a soul sucker,
Yeah, and I missed his.
right?
So he got left behind.
Right. He
So
was
he's
angry.
upset.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Nicole, you remember when we were in one of the rooms and I kept talking about something that sounded like it was a wheel on a
Yeah,
cart
we were
or
in
something? Nobody heard it, but I heard it, and you were like, "What are you talking about?" Well, I got it. It's very interesting.
No, it sounded like the wheels on a cart.
That was a very strange sound. Very strange sound.
No, it sounded like the wheels on a cart.
Wow.
Is there another voice in there, mixed in there?
I don't know. Let's play it one more time and find out.
No, it sounded like the wheels on a cart.
Right there.
No, I don't. I think that's. I think that's just the whole clinking thing.
Okay.
Adding a little artifact because it's echoey.
Okay.
So, just
Could
weird.
be.
It could be. You're right. It
She may be hearing something different. Yeah.
Right. You could be hearing it, but I just found the clinking thing was trippy.
It is.
Because I heard it, but nobody else heard it.
Steve and I were in there. We didn't hear it.
Right.
Y'all were on the other side of the room, so.
I was in the corner because
Yeah.
baby puts herself in the corner.
Yeah. Here's another one. Another female voice.
It might have been just something up in the roof. Something rattling.
Right after I said roof, there's a little voice. It says, "No, it wasn't in the roof. It was me, motherfucker."
That's
It
what
might have
she
been just
said.
something up in the roof. Something rattling.
No. That was right after I heard the clinking.
It might have been just something up in the roof. Something rattling.
Interesting. This one was kind of weird. And kind of creepy as well. Sounds like something like we need something is the way it sounds to me. What do you guys think?
I have no idea.
What do you guys think? Let us know.
We need a bar of soap, is what I'm hearing.
Hey, I don't stink,
What did
Dawn.
you hear?
Is that
Yes, that was me.
implication?
Hey, that wasn't me. That's the ghost. You need to just take some advice
We need a bar soap.
from the other side. You need a bar soap.
Oh, that's fucking rude. Call us 843-492-7966. Give us an email, thedeadtimeradio@gmail.com. Go to our website, thedeadtimeradioshow.com. Yeah, What do you think, Nicole?
What do you think?
We need, and I don't know the last two.
It probably is soap.
We need something.
It probably is soap. Dawn won't ever tell me when I stink. She just implies it. She probably told the ghost mentally, tell him he needs soap.
You're just going to wake up one day, there's going to be soap sitting on your
on your
countertop.
chest.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like the cockroach when you're younger. Yep, it's just going to be right
I'm going to
there.
walk into the CT control room and there'll be a bar of soap there. And I'm like, Dawn, did you put this here? No, I didn't. No.
I didn't do it.
Our friend from the OR did.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. Apparently, I smell to the stinky ghosts in the underlife. Well, fuck you, ghosts. All right? Fuck you. This one was just a weird sound. It was not a Steve sigh. That's not Steve.
It sounded squeaky.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if there's a breath right before that because we were in one of the rooms that had some machinery going on.
Mm-hmm.
That was the room that they had recently just finished a procedure,
Right.
and they left all the machinery on.
Right.
Yes, they did.
The cameras were on, the C-arm
Yeah.
was still on, all that
Yeah.
stuff. So it was making a lot of noise in the room.
And the wind coming through the door, I was like,
Right.
I'd made a note. I'm like, that wind is
Right.
its own howling.
It sounded like a hurricane, and then it sounded like a group of bees.
Yeah,
it was very
did.
weird.
Yeah, it did.
It's just a weird, unnatural sound. Maybe Steve queefed. That's what it was.
You're so stupid.
This one was kind of heartbreaking. Little sad. And also really creepy. That was me laughing afterwards because I don't help anyone.
Sounded maniacal.
It did. Well, my laugh or the help us?
Your laugh. We didn't hear the help us at the time.
Yeah, there it is.
Help us.
That one's creepy.
That was creepy. So that means there's more than one. So he's informing us that there's more than one person that needs help
Yeah.
in there, in the OR.
Yeah. This one was kind of cool. Unintelligible. I don't know exactly what it is, and they're whispering. Not sure what's being said.
I don't feel good about that one, though.
I don't either. It sounds
It's like saying, watch it. Or,
yeah.
Watch it.
It almost does kind of sound like that, but
it.
I'm not sure, dude. Yeah, some of these do not sound nice at all. Like they're not. And
you got doctors in there that are like that. Watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like they're rude
like
and
an asshole surgeon.
Yeah,
like a general surgeon.
that's
Most
like,
of them
watch
are.
it. Or
Right. But
throwing utensils at you and yeah.
we'll get to that one thing you were mentioning, and that was when you were talking about the feeling that I got when we were in one of the rooms. So while we were in there, I never get strange feelings. Nicole's always the one that always feels like somebody's touched her, somebody scratched her back, somebody poked her. She gets a little numb on one side. You get chest pain. Your neck feels kind of stiff. You feel like almost like an allergic reaction type feeling.
Right.
Me, I never feel anything. I never hear anything. Sometimes I get upset because I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why doesn't anybody ghosts want to touch me? So we're in the OR, and out of the blue, I'm like, why do I feel weird? And I take my pulse, and my pulse is going like a million fucking beats a second. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I had Nicole, I said, dude, feel this. And she felt my pulse, and she was like, why is it going so rapid? I said, not only is it rapid, but it's erratic.
Yeah.
It wasn't a constant pulse. And then at that time, like, my whole left side went numb. And I was like, okay, am I having a heart attack in the OR right now? And it was weird because I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel ill. It just felt weird. I could feel my blood flowing on that side. It was just like really erratic. And as soon as we left the room, it was like instantly back to normal. Mm-hmm. And I just couldn't explain that.
I mean, that is the room that the doc said that he gets the creeps in. He doesn't like to operate in there.
Yeah.
That's the sound, the what happened sound. The guy that
Yeah,
I think
that's-
is what
that was
happened.
OR
That
too.
was going into that room. So
It was just a very weird feeling, and I had never felt that before. And then, I don't know if I've done something different now because I had that feeling in the Yorktown.
you did have
With
that cold
the paralyzed, like the cold electrical paralyzed feeling. Mm-hmm. And it was like very prevalent. I mean, it was like weird. I could control my body, but it just felt weird. And the guest you brought had that temperature gauge, and he said I dropped like 7 degrees.
Yeah, you did.
It's very strange. Very strange. I don't know, man. That's the kind of stuff that I can't explain it. I can't give an explanation for it. Let's see, what else do we have here for voices? This is voice unintelligible number 5. That was weird.
What do you think it says?
I don't know what it says. That's why it says unintelligible.
Where were we then?
I think at this point we were still like in around OR 16 or 17.
Sounds like excruciating.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Excruciate.
It kind of does. That one was an interesting one.
Maybe it's a French word.
Yeah, right. This one was cool. You said bye. Mm-hmm. You said bye. Somebody else said bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye. Thanks for coming.
Why is Cookie Monster in the OR right now?
Cookie Monster. Yeah, that one's creepy. I mean, it's congenial. It's very nice of them to say goodbye back, but
say bye.
Did you have to be so creepy the way you said it?
You know, that's the same room that we got the Nobody But Us.
Is it?
Yeah.
Interesting. But that was a male voice.
Right, but and that was two different, like that was just Tiffany and I with the Nobody But Us one, and then this was all of us, so it was two different times we were in there.
Interesting.
Yeah. It just dawned on me.
Yeah, that's cool. This one was kind of cool. This one is basically going, hey.
That feeling like we were getting like goosebumps.
Oh, that's we were even in the hallway.
And you got goosebumps.
You stopped, and you're like, when you get...
That electrical, staticky stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
You were seeing your right arm and
So
leg.
obviously something was there.
Yeah.
Because you felt it.
Before it... You felt it at the same time it started talking.
Mm-hmm.
That feeling like we were getting like goosebumps.
They always say, hey.
Right?
Hey.
That feeling like we were getting like goosebumps.
Good stuff. Another female voice.
So the reason why we went over here is because Suzanne had said over near the coffee machine and at ACC, I get really creeped out. So we were over there. We walked by the coffee machine. Steve's like, "Oh yeah, I'd like some coffee."
Yes, because
So
Steve's
steps
easily
up there.
distracted.
He grabs the cup. He starts to get coffee, and then somebody gets pissed off.
Right. And the funny thing is Steve even mentioned that he's never felt welcome over there too, but I think it was for different reasons. Because he said he was over there when people were working over there, and they would just give him really bad looks, like, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
Oh, they give everybody bad looks
Right.
when they're actually
Well, that's
working
because
right
they
there.
think they're better than everybody else over there.
Stop borrowing my shit then, yo.
Right. But, if Steve's got bright shining object syndrome, and he sees a coffee machine, and he's like, "Oh, this is awesome, coffee. I think I'll have one. Yes, thank you very much." And apparently,
You stepped in front of somebody, or he's
somebody
using the coffee
didn't
machine.
want you
He shouldn't be
using.
using the coffee machine.
So maybe that body was actually an old ACC nurse.
Right? Listen to it again.
Let's play it again.
Coffee machine. Excuse me.
It's fucking crazy.
Excuse me.
It's fucking
You
crazy.
asked to use my coffee machine,
Right?
Steve?
Excuse me, are you supposed to be here?
Did you ask me to use my coffee machine?
You don't have a cap on.
That's right. Coffee machine. Clear.
Where are your shoe covers?
Excuse me.
Up my ass and to the left.
Right?
Right.
So, this leads us to the one that was sonically impossible.
Yeah.
Uh,
He's 10 feet away from me.
I'm
from my-
15 feet from Steve.
Easy, yeah.
I'm 10 feet from Dawn. Dawn is about maybe 5 feet from Steve. And we're talking, and Steve is putting ice in his cup. Because I guess he wanted iced coffee. I don't know what the fuck was going on with Steve that night. But this is what popped up in between both of our recorders at the same level, same volume.
I know it sounds like Steve because he's always sighing.
Right, but
But
that was
there's no way Steve could be by Billy and by me because I was
right
yeah,
at the same level. And Steve even said, "No, I wasn't
That's
sighing."
not my sigh, he says.
Yeah, that one was kind of odd.
Probably the same voice. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
You're still drinking my
Right,
coffee.
Right, exactly.
And now you have my ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, my ice too.
So,
Disgusted.
when I got my new recorder, I was all excited, and I wanted to go over and get some recordings, and I wanted to go to the source, the first place we ever went. So I went, and of course, somehow I got a fucking train of people that came with me. And it was like me and Derek and Casey and Dawn and some other people. So I'm talking to them. I'm almost like the fucking tour guide now for the Haunted Cancer Center. And I'm like, yeah, we're just going to go around the corner here. Obviously, somebody didn't want me to do that. So we're going to go over to the CT control room because that was the first place we ever heard anything. So we're going to go over to the CT control room because that was the first place we ever heard anything. Saying stop. Apparently they didn't want me to go there. You ain't going, bitch. You ain't going.
These people are trying to get treatment.
Right? Excuse me. I just don't get it. So Dawn, we went to the cath lab one night.
Yes.
We didn't go to that same room that we first went to when all three of us went.
Okay.
We went to the other two rooms there in the back hall.
Okay.
It was 5 o'clock in the morning. I was worried somebody was fixing to come into work.
Yeah. So we were like, well, let's just go over there real quick.
The control room's in the middle. You have a room on the left and a room on the right.
One of the rooms was fucking freezing cold.
Yeah, it was like
I opened the door
30.
and I was like, this room is cold.
Arctic blast.
Did not feel like the other rooms in the cold factor.
Oh, this room's cold.
That's not Dawn. That's not Dawn. That's Dawn.
That's me,
This room is
yeah.
really cold. Yeah.
Because I was standing way
Imagine
outside.
sitting in there all night. Oh my god.
So,
And then, it took that much time for that big blast of cold air to get from him to me because he went inside the room.
right. So, I'll play it again and I'll tell you what I think it's saying.
Oh, this room's cold.
One more time.
Oh, this room's cold.
What do you think it's saying? It sounds to me like it's saying go back.
I heard it go back to the something. Go back to the something.
Go back. Go back. That's what I heard. What did you guys hear? Tell us. Let us know.
Play it one more time.
All right.
Oh, this room's cold.
That second one definitely sounds like they're saying go back.
Go back to the something. Go back.
Yeah, go back. Go
Yeah.
back to the.
Just
I don't know what the last part is.
just odd, man. Just odd. Let's see.
Go back to the light.
We got
Right?
one thing the last time that we went to the loading dock, the two or the three of us. And out of that whole thing, we only got one, which is fascinating because that just kind of proves that it might have been a fluke, all the stuff we got, or maybe they just didn't want to talk to us anymore. They got out what they wanted to say to us, and we didn't do anything, so they were like, "Fuck y'all." But
We could have went during the full moon where like all the energy is bigger
Right.
too. So it really depends on.
right.
I know that sounds crazy, moon cycles, but the energy's higher when there's a moon cycle.
It's not crazy, Don, because women have cycles too, and they're
It's true.
crazy.
If there's something,
And
the
they
moon
get
is powerful
really
enough
crazy.
to change
You
tides.
our
motherfuckers
cycle
get insane.
and the tides. You're right.
You guys get insane. So
No, I know.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
But you're on the same cycle that I'm on, so we're good.
Yeah, so you guys were out there and you were like, it smells like vomit. Ugh. And then some other dude at the very
it smells
end.
like vomit. Ugh.
Yeah, and then some other male voice just decided to respond to that.
Like vomit.
Very strange. Very
Thank
strange.
you.
Yeah. I like that one a lot. I think let me see what else we got. I think that's pretty much all we have in here. Well, no, I've got a couple from the control room in CT. This one was sitting. I think this was when you had the feeling that somebody was scratching your neck.
Or was it my back?
Your
Is that when I
back.
came back and
I
had
think
marks
so.
on my back?
I think this is. Let me play this because I think that might be it.
Yep.
No, that's when
That
you.
was what-
That's when
yeah.
you put your recorder in the CT room.
It was room 2.
Yeah.
You walked in,
So it's
dropped
like-
it off, and closed the door. Well, right after you closed the door, that's what was popped up.
Stop it. What's he saying?
He said,
Shut your
"Stop."
mouth. Stop it. I heard shut your mouth. Stop it.
Oh shit!
There is no shut
Oh my
your
God.
mouth. There
you
is no
hear it?
shut your mouth, but it did say stop.
I heard
Like
shut
full
your
on
mouth.
stop.
I think I heard shut your mouth.
Shut
Stop
your
it
mouth.
too.
Stop it.
No.
Yeah,
I just
I
hear
heard.
stop.
I hear shut your mouth.
That's the cool thing about playing these. People
Yeah.
can hear it and
Shut your
tell us
mouth.
what to think. But
Stop it.
yeah,
Get him. Get him. Get him.
that
Get him.
that freaked you out, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Because you had not heard that one.
No.
I'm not sure what this one is, but I put it as voice no. So let's see what this says.
No, there was a lot more male voices last night. No, there was a lot more male voices last night.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I was drunk when I was mixing that one. And then we have this one. This was room 2 noises. When once again you put your controller or your recorder in there.
Are you in room 2? Yeah, 2. Are you hanging out in room 2 right now?
Now, what I found odd, and Dawn says it's probably you saying, yeah, 2, it's 2. But I don't think that's your voice.
2 after that.
I don't think that's your voice. When you're like, are you in room 2 right now? Yeah, it's 2, it's 2.
But
That-
then she says 2.
I
all
don't
that,
think
so-
that's her saying
No,
it.
2 it's 2.
Because
a
it's
different
not,
voice.
it might have the same timbre of her voice, but it's not the same voice.
I don't think it's her voice.
I don't think it's me either. Because why would I say that?
2 it's
Right.
2.
Again, it's one of those things like, why are you repeating yourself
Yeah.
when you wouldn't do that? That's something like somebody with a speech impediment would do, or somebody with OCD, or, somebody that's like a savant that always repeats like Rain Man type of thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'll play it one more time.
Are you in room 2? Yeah, 2. Are you hanging out in room 2 right now?
It's just weird. I can't explain that one.
Somebody else is correct helping us to say, yeah, this is room 2.
Yeah, 2,
2,
it's
it's
2.
2.
Yeah, it's very, very weird. Let me see what else I got in here. I think that's all of them.
I do like the one where I feel like something's going up my spine. Because we were just talking about how we both have scoliosis and the back was hurting.
Right.
And then
Right.
Then I
And
wake
then
up.
you came over, and there were marks on your back.
I have a photo of her back where it is completely scratched.
And I remember
She
you
can't
saying that
reach it
you were like, "Is
to
someone
the
touching
area.
me right now?" And you're like just standing there, and you were saying, "I could feel something grabbing my back."
You said it's
scratching my
burning,
back.
and
yeah,
you lifted your shirt up,
right.
and I was like, I got to take a picture of this because this is
yeah, it was
scratches.
fucking weird, man.
But when I woke up later that day, my back did not hurt anymore because it was on both sides. Almost like someone was like trying to massage it or
Right.
something. Because I woke up, felt great, came back to CT, and just in case, went, all right, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just in case.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now there was a lot of things that I mean I had a whole slew of stuff. I threw one of the recorders into room 3 all by itself, for like an hour, and I listened to all that, but all it was noise, because that machinery is so loud. It's really hard to hear stuff. That's why I'm surprised I got what I did in OR2 or room 2 there, CT2, because you can hear how loud it is. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And it's as an audio engineer, when you're doing that and you're hearing that hiss for a large amount of time, not only does it kill your ears, but it fatigues you. So you miss things because you get tired, because it's almost like hypnotizing you with that.
Right.
It's very strange. I know that I have had a blast doing this with you guys so far, and I want to do many more hunts with you guys. We've got really good ideas for places we want to go. If you guys have ideas for places we should go, let us know, because we want to start investigating this stuff to find out how much it's going to cost and what we're going to do. We plan on doing a show of a live ghost hunt with us.
Yeah. So the plan is we're going to take a couple months off, and during those couple months, we're going to try to get as much information as we can. We're going to try to do more ghost hunts. We're going to try to do more on location. We have Charleston here. We have Savannah, which is only like an hour and a half from here. There's St. Augustine Lighthouse. There's so much stuff that's, within close driving distance of us. So we're going to take a little time off, and we're going to come back with a lot more cool information. And let us know how much you liked this. If you like it, if you don't like it, just give us some feedback, because we just did the Yorktown, which we love. We love doing. We like giving you the information and showing you what we found and giving you the heebie-jeebies. And so
Yeah, I mean, we love doing all of this, and I really am having fun with it. We do plan on adding some stuff on our website where if you want to donate, if you want to, pop us a couple bucks here and there. We're not begging, we're not asking. We're just saying if you feel the content is good enough to where you want to do that, more than welcome to do it. You can do it now on the Podbean website. If you go to our page there's a button up there that says become a patron. But I'm going to be working on getting that stuff embedded into our website for anybody that wants to donate, that wants to help. If you know of anybody that's interested in merchandise, we're working on getting that a little bit more refined. We have a lot of things planned that we want to do for everybody, because every time we introduce somebody to the show, they love it. They have a good time with it. And I love the fact that we can make you guys laugh. We can make you guys think. You can listen to two different, completely opposing opinions on a lot of things,
always.
and realize that you can actually have a opposing opinion and still be friends. And I think that's been lost in a lot of things in this country nowadays. And it really pisses me off that you can't have a debate. You can't have any type of a conversation about anything without somebody devolving it into some stupid fucking name calling, or you're a Trumpster, or you're a whatever. Fuck you all, okay?
Because when you have a discussion, don't make me wrong. That's what the discussion is
Exactly.
about. You may sway
You
me.
can
I may
disagree.
sway you. If you're so hard and steadfast in your beliefs, you're supposed to evolve. So that's what conversation is. I'm giving you
A
information.
free exchange of ideas.
Right. And don't make me wrong. That's the thing. We're talking about it, discussing it, having a debate about it.
Do you know what I love the most, though? I love the fact that we got Nicole here today.
Yeah. How did you think about what did you think about the show?
Oh, this is awesome. I want to do it again.
Yeah.
You're always welcome to come.
Yay.
And, you're going to be with us for a while, because we're going to be doing hunts and stuff together.
So you want to give them the name of what it is? Do you want
the name of our ghost stuff?
paranormal?
Not yet, because
Okay.
we're still
Oh,
working
shit.
on that.
Yeah, we're still working on
But
it.
I liked our idea though, or your idea.
yeah,
That's really good.
I think we're gonna have some great things coming up. And Nicole, you're always welcome here. You're one of my favorite people. Since I've moved here, I've only been here a year, and it has officially been a year at the end of July, and I've officially been a year at work tomorrow, the same day that it's Mara's birthday.
Cool.
Dawn, fucking love you, dude.
I love you, dude.
You're like my sister from another mister.
I love your guts.
I love your guts, right? So, yes, we're going to have a lot of cool shit coming. Nicole, you're going to be a guest star or a co-host or anytime you want. You can fucking come over here.
I'm down to clown.
And it doesn't even have to be ghost stuff because we talk
Really?
about everything
We
and
do.
we have a good time. And, of course, you know my humor, so I know you won't get offended.
Can I do a PSA?
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay, so Coast to Coast George Nori. You know, I was talking about the Dietlov Pass a while ago, and one of the first of our one of the first podcasts that we recorded, where the Dietlov Pass, where the hikers, the one was missing a tongue, one had a skull fracture, one was like squeezed, and then most of them died from exposure. So Coast to Coast George Nori, Billy was reading me the story.
Yeah, it was a really cool
and
article.
It's super cool.
Basically, there was a cryptozoologist or some type of scientist in Russia who basically says that there is evidence that these people were ripped apart by a Yeti.
So he went and he looked at all the autopsies of all the people.
Right.
2 of the people, he said, looks like when you take a child and you squeeze the child, because the rib fractures were anterior posterior, which means front or back.
Yeah.
On both sides where the hands
Right.
are. So left side, right side ribs, front and back.
So
to where
almost
it
like a
looks
bear hug.
Somebody squeezed them.
They squeezed them too hard.
Squeezed them too
and
hard.
cracked their ribs.
That's some big ass hands for a
Right,
person.
exactly.
Yes, these are full-sized adults.
That's what it says. Like do you remember the cartoon, The Abominable Snowman? I will love him and I will squeeze him and I will call him George.
Right.
Like that, just squeezing him to death.
Did
so
you
it could
ever?
have been smaller.
Did you ever hear that story, Nicole? The story about the Dietlov
I've
Pass?
heard of it before, yes.
It was,
but
like,
I didn't
it
know
was
the
in
details
50s.
about
Right. And of course,
the huggy
everybody's
squeezy.
all the
right. The
way they
reasoning
found
was,
them.
oh, it was an avalanche. Well, how do you lose half of your tongue in
They
an avalanche?
closed this thing.
How do you lose an eyeball?
You don't. The eyeball's gone. Eyeball's
Like
been. They were like it
the
was
eyeball
animal.
didn't pop out; it was ripped out.
Pulled out. The tongue was pulled out. So maybe they were screaming too loud, and the Yeti just reached up and pulled the
I don't
tongue
know.
out. I mean, they were probably
pretty
still
funny.
alive.
And then another
yeah.
theory was that it was some type of military weapon testing they were involved in because it was Russia, it was the
could have
Soviet
been-
Union.
Well, we had said EMS.
Right.
It could
It
have
was
been
secret
any kind
shit.
of sounds.
Right.
Or,
And some people actually have very high sensitivity to electromagnetism. They could have gone crazy, and somebody
Right.
could have ripped apart the rest of the people in the camp and then ripped themselves apart.
right.
There's a whole bunch of
So
different theories.
y'all check that out. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
It's on
article.
Coast to Coast
It's a
AM.
doctor. It's a physician.
Right,
that's-
right.
You know, he's looking at all the research and all the autopsies, and he's
It was very interesting, man.
Yeah.
Very interesting. That's the kind of stuff that we love doing, like updates. And we will definitely do updates because we'll always do more cryptozoology and more Darwin Awards and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, we've got a lot in store for you guys. We definitely need to take a break. We've been pushing hard for the past 9 months?
yeah.
We
since
got
December,
3
we've been on
seasons
it.
in 9 months.
Every week we're on it, and it's
Most TV shows only do a season a year.
I know, but we want to give you the content. We want to
Right.
give you the
Right.
super cool stuff so y'all can listen to.
So we're
every week.
we're gonna slow down. We want to give you better, and that's just
We're going to
want
work on
keep
our
building.
website. We're going to drop all these EVPs on the website. We want to get that up and running,
Right.
and we want to get a lot more information.
So as it comes forward, we'll give you more information about our ghost paranormal group. We do plan on going to different places out of state.
And if you guys have a haunted location that you want us to go in and research and try to debunk or
please
find
tell
out
us.
what's happening, and
And if you have
Let
EVPs
us
of your
know.
own or stories of your own, please send us those stories. We
Yeah.
will read them. We will talk about them on the air. Leave us messages. I'm going to give out the stuff again. You can call us at 843-492-7966, or you can send us an email at thedeadtimeradio@gmail.com. And, of course, you can always go to our website, subscribe. We know when you subscribe. I know everything. You guys can't fucking hide from me. So,
and thanks for our new listeners. We just got an uptick of
we
how many extra downloads did we have this past month?
It was a
Past
lot.
2 months? It was
over
a lot.
over 100.
Yeah, it was
just
thank
in
you
a
guys.
month.
So tell more people. This helps our numbers, and it'll move us up forward so that more people can find us. Because the more that you subscribe and the more that you tell people and the more people that are downloading, it helps our numbers. So just tell as many people as you can.
We love doing this show.
We love you guys.
We love you guys. We can't do it without you. Because we can sit here and talk to each other. All three of us can sit here and talk all night at work about this shit.
We do.
And
Yes, we
never
do.
get bored.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we like to share it with other people. And we like to share it with you. And we love you. And we want to thank you. And we will see you again soon. And that's the end of the show, people.
Oh, we also have a little snippet of Suzanne telling all of her stories. That
Yes.
we're gonna put on the website.
That's
so
a
look at the
bonus.
website. That's a bonus.
That's
on the
a
website.
bonus. We have one of our other fellow coworkers telling us stories of her experiences there at the hospital. But we want to thank everybody for giving us a shout out. We want to hear what you have to say. We want to thank you once again for listening. And once again, thedeadtimeradioshow.com. You can give us an email at thedeadtimeradio@gmail.com, or you can call us at 843-492-7966. I want to thank Nicole for coming on the show.
Thank you, Nicole.
Love you, Nicole.
Thanks, guys. Love you.
And we will see you guys again soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.